Breaking now at 5.
Heartbreaking news out of Nelson County, where the body of a Patrick Henry High School senior was recovered from a quarry there this morning.
A crowd is starting to gather in the same Richmond Park where a 9-year-old girl was gunned down during a cookout. We'll take you there live.
Plus a cry for help from the sister of a veteran dying of cancer who needs help repairing a deck so he can enjoy his final days in the sunshine.
NBC 12 News at 5 starts with local breaking news.
After 2 days of searching, a Hanover family's worst fears have been confirmed. The body of 18-year-old Henry Morin has been recovered from a rock quarry in Nelson County.
The teen's death comes less than 2 weeks before he was set to graduate high school. Jasmine Turner spoke with Henry's mother. She's in our First Alert Center with more. Jasmine.
Carla and Kurt, the Virginia State Police Search and Recovery Team found Henry Morin's body today. He was last seen swimming in a rock quarry near Schuyler in Nelson County Tuesday night. Morin was set to graduate on June 15th from Patrick Henry High School. His mother, Kate, sent me the photo you can see right now. It's of Henry and his brothers at Henry's graduation party this past Saturday. Henry is in the middle in that photo. As the community remembers Henry, his mother wrote, quote, "Our sweet Henry has been found. The outpouring of love and support has been overwhelming. Henry is honored to have known you and proud of the community that has supported him in his full life here on this earth. We love and thank you and can't wait to experience how he shows us each day he is with us and lives in our hearts." Now, just a few moments ago, we did receive a statement from Dr. Michael Gill, the superintendent of Hanover County Schools, who says we will continue to keep them, Morin's family, in our thoughts and prayers as they deal with this terrible loss. There will be a celebration of Henry Morin's life on Monday, June 10th at noon at St. Michael's Catholic Church in Glen Allen. On your side in the First Alert Center, Jasmine Turner, NBC 12.
Very sad. Thanks so much, Jasmine. And we want to take a moment to get a check of the forecast. It is hot and it is humid out there. Meteorologist Jim Duncan says there is a chance showers will be popping up tonight. Jim.
Yeah, we're going to see a few of these scattered around. I'll show you the radar in a second. Right now in Richmond, we have partly cloudy skies, 88 our temperature, but high dew points, humidity up. All of a sudden, it feels like July again. It feels like 90 degrees, upper 80s for the temperature. We had a high right around 90 degrees this afternoon. A couple of storms out there tonight up to the north, up in Caroline County, also up toward Tappahannock, moving to western Essex County, up through the northern neck. Tracking some of these as they move very quickly to the east. I think we could see a few of these even in our part of the state a little bit later this evening as this whole line kind of sinks to the south. But these are pretty good showers now in southern Spotsylvania County, moving just north of Lake Anna now and off to the southeast. So this eventually could impact areas such as northern Hanover County, of course, Caroline County in the path of those as well. Bottom line is some scattered storms in our forecast this evening. I'd say overall a 30% chance the next couple of hours. This takes us through 7 o'clock on the high-res model guidance, but high chances of rain tomorrow. More in your full forecast coming up. Kurt and Carla.
All right, we'll check back. Thank you, Jim. All across Virginia, people trying to come to terms with what feels like a very violent time in our Commonwealth.
First, 9-year-old Markia Dixon loses her life attending a simple cookout at a Richmond Park. Then a Virginia Beach City employee kills 12 of his colleagues.
This evening, vigils will be held in Richmond and Virginia Beach to honor all of those victims and certainly to allow the community a chance to start healing. We'll check in with Brent Solomon in Virginia Beach in just a moment.
But first, Eric Perry is live at Carter Jones Park, where people will soon be gathering to honor Markia. Eric.
Yeah, Kurt, Carla, that vigil for Markia Dixon set to start within 30 minutes right here at Carter Jones Park. Now, Markia Dixon was killed less than 2 weeks ago during Memorial Day weekend cookout. The vigil tonight is organized by family and friends who say they don't want this little girl's death to go in vain. Now, it's been a violent 2 weeks right here in the capital city. Police investigated 3 separate shootings just yesterday. A double shooting on Stockton and 32nd Street left 1 man dead, another injured. Police now confirming 26-year-old Leroy Williams was killed in that. Another man was injured in a shooting on DuPont Circle and also on Walmsley Boulevard.
It's like a big firecracker. Boom, like that. And like I said, I hit the floor because I didn't want the bullet to come through the window.
Frightening moments there. Well, coming up at 6, what led up to the DuPont Circle shooting and video of one of the potential suspects. We're talking with those in the neighborhood, and I also spoke to the victim. Police have not made any arrest in any of the cases, nor has there been an arrest in Markia's death. I want to bring you back out here live now. Kind of a powerful image here. There is a vigil just that has been set up with different items from Markia as they prepare to gather here within the next 30 minutes. We'll bring you that as soon as it becomes available. On your side, I'm Eric Perry, NBC 12 News.
Thanks, Eric. And in less than 2 hours, thousands will head to church to remember the victims of last week's mass shooting in Virginia Beach.
The governor and first lady are expected to be in attendance. Brent Solomon is live outside Rock Church in Virginia Beach ahead of this service. Brent.
Yeah, this is something so many people have been waiting on ever since the city announced it will hold a memorial. Undoubtedly, there have been tons of vigils and gatherings since that mass shooting last week, but tonight's event is likely to draw the biggest crowds as it is being organized by the city of Virginia Beach. And of course, not many of us will soon forget this terrible tragedy. On social media right now, the event is being described as VB Remembers. VB, of course, standing for Virginia Beach. In fact, that's the hashtag that people are using on Facebook and Twitter as people leave their condolences and grieve the loss of 12 people shot and killed in that city government building Friday afternoon. Let's take you back live now. That memorial service is open to the public right here at the Rock Church. It begins at 7 this evening. On Facebook, more than 500 people have said they plan to attend, but you can imagine the number will be much larger than that. And you can also probably bet on the fact that people from even outside of this area will be here tonight. After they learned the news of what happened, so many people are saying, we just want to be here right in this very place this evening to pay our respects. We will be here, and of course, we will have a recap for you coming up on the news tonight at 11 o'clock, so be sure to stick with us. We're live in Virginia Beach on your side. Brent Solomon, NBC 12.
Okay, Brent, thank you. And we're learning some new information about exactly what happened during the Virginia Beach massacre that may have slowed police down. We've learned that police responding to the shooting were not able to confront the gunman at one point, and the problem was with keys. Officers say they did not have the key cards that they needed to open doors on the second floor of Municipal Building 2. Now, that's where the shots were being fired. Over the radio, officers could be heard pleading for electric cards and considered at one point using a sledgehammer to break down the doors. That shooter was eventually killed in a gun battle with police.
Meanwhile, funerals began today for the victims. 42-year-old Catherine Nixon was laid to rest this morning in Virginia Beach. Moments after she was shot last Friday, Nixon was able to call her husband before she passed away. Catherine Nixon also leaves behind 3 children. Well, Chesterfield County is holding a ceremony tomorrow for the Virginia Beach victims. The county is inviting the community to come to the historic 1917 courthouse tomorrow afternoon at 3:45. There will be a moment of silence. The historic bell will ring 12 times in honor of each of those who lost their lives last Friday. The historic courthouse is located on Iron Bridge Road. Now again, the observance will be held tomorrow at 3:45.
3 people badly hurt after a head-on collision in Mechanicsville. This happened at about 8 o'clock on Cold Harbor Road, not far from the Henrico County line. 2 people in that car, along with the driver of an SUV, were rushed to the hospital. We have no update on their conditions right now. Police are still working to determine which driver was at fault. And if you were at Dulles Airport on Sunday, there's a chance you may have been exposed to measles. A child with the virus was apparently at the airport Sunday evening. So if you were in Terminal A or at the baggage claim between 5:30 and 8:30 on Sunday, you may be at risk if you have not been vaccinated. If you received the standard 2 doses of the vaccine, you do not need to do anything. If you received only 1 dose, you're probably safe as well, but check with your doctor just in case.
Well, today the world says thank you to the men who stormed the beaches at Normandy on D-Day on this 75th anniversary of the invasion. Their heroism marked the beginning of the end of World War II.
On this 75th anniversary of D-Day, on behalf of a grateful nation, to those brave veterans gathered here who fought so long ago, and to all those looking on from glory, we say one more time, thank you for your service.
Vice President Mike Pence among the thousands of people attending today's ceremony at the National D-Day Memorial in Bedford. Bedford suffered the most losses per capita on D-Day as 19 men from the small town died in the battle.
D-Day ceremonies took place all around the globe today. At the World War II Memorial in Washington, dozens gathered for a wreath-laying ceremony in honor of those who did not come home. Meanwhile, one of the largest ceremonies took place at the site of that infamous invasion. Jay Gray is in Normandy with a story.
Good evening, Kurt and Carla. You know, the ceremony's been over for a while now, and a knowing silence has settled back in over these solemn grounds, a place that honors the memory of these men whose fearless dedication changed the course of history here.
Sunrise on Omaha Beach, the place where 75 years ago thousands gave their lives for freedom. But the mortar fire, the flyovers on this day, are part of the celebration, thousands gathering to honor these rugged warriors returning to a battlefield that's now a sacred burial ground.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Back with their brothers who didn't get the luxury of growing old. Most of the more than 4,000 Americans who died during the invasion were teenagers.
I look back and think about all these young guys that didn't have a girlfriend or a wife, and they haven't lived like I have lived all these years.
The sacrifice of all who fought here honored today by their commander-in-chief.
You are among the very greatest Americans who will ever live. You are the pride of our nation. You are the glory of our republic. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you.
Gratitude shared by a new generation. Service, courage, and strength. Forever etched in stone here.
The cost of the fight here was overwhelming, a debt that those of us who reap the benefits of their service and sacrifice can never repay. In Normandy, France, Jay Gray, NBC 12.
I'm Karina Bolster here in Henrico, where a Marine Corps veteran needs help repairing his deck. Just ahead, I'll tell you why his family says they need the help.
Also ahead, incredible video of a dog's rescue out of a cave, and she may have been stuck there for 3 weeks. We're hearing from the man who made the rescue mission possible.
And what can 12 on your side do for you? It's Thursday, so our Call 12 lines are open, 345-1212, the number to talk to one of these volunteers if you need assistance.
And it's now my honor to offer you all our first ever e-scooter dockless permit.
Dockless scooters finally hit the streets of Richmond. So Bolt rolled out about 500 of them around the city this afternoon. 35% of the fleet is dedicated to low-income areas of Richmond, and with these scooters comes new jobs. So far, Bolt has hired 15 people to keep the RVA operation going.
With these scooters, it's going to be even more convenient for people to just get on one and go, and they don't have to wait for the bus. They don't have to worry about traffic as much. It's very easy to use, and it's very convenient.
We're committed to working with cities instead of without them or against them. We see it as a better way to form a long-term partnership because we want these scooters to be here for a long time.
If you want to use the Bolt scooter, you can download their app for free. It costs 25 cents a minute to ride them. New at 5, the family of a Marine Corps veteran is seeking help in repairing his back deck.
Kevin Mays was diagnosed with stage 4 esophageal cancer in January and can no longer fix it himself. His family hopes the repair will give Mays a bit more peace with the time he has left.
Henrico reporter Karina Bolster has more on how you can help.
It's been a difficult 6 months for Kevin Mays. First, his diagnosis of stage 4 cancer, to now his inability to repair his deck, filled with so many memories.
The biggest enjoyment they got out of it was feeding the squirrels.
Even though it's been years since Kevin Mays' wife passed away, the pan still remains out on their back deck.
And they would watch the squirrels, and that was kind of like their children because they didn't have kids. They would name the squirrels.
But now the 61-year-old Marine Corps veteran isn't able to watch those squirrels. Instead, Mays is confined to the inside of his home due to the disrepair.
Years of age, trees, limbs falling down on it. Last night, that limb fell down on it. It's kind of rotted away a little bit.
Seiler says her brother would have fixed it himself, but he can't now that his cancer has metastasized to other parts of his body. It's why Mays did not want to appear on camera.
The chemo made him sicker than better.
Now Mays is in hospice, and his family wants to give every opportunity they can for him to enjoy the outdoors.
We're just concerned with the way the wood is chipped out and beat up, that it might not be a good idea to be out here.
Ahead at 6, we'll tell you more about Mays and his family's mission to make sure this deck gets repaired. On your side in Henrico, Karina Bolster, NBC 12 News.
Thanks so much, Karina. And if there's a way you can help Keith Mays get his deck fixed, Karina wants to hear from you. Send her a message on her Facebook page. It is facebook.com/Karina NBC12. She will pass your information on to the family.
Let's hope that happens soon. Check out this video. A dog being rescued from a cave in Florida where she may have been stuck for weeks. The rescue was the work of Joe Dunn. He was on a hike last weekend when he heard a dog whimpering in the distance. Joe followed the sounds and came upon the cave. There he discovered a scared pup some 20 feet below, desperate for help.
The sound you don't like to hear, really disturbing. It makes you really sad to hear. It looked up at us and it was trying to jump up through the cavern, like trying its best.
Joe knew that he needed to get this dog out, so he put out a call on social media and received an overwhelming response. Turns out the dog's name is Sally. She had been missing for nearly a month.
Accurate, reliable, breaking weather specialists. This is NBC 12 First Alert Weather.
All right, we look on the horizon, we see some building cumulus clouds. We're actually looking to the north here from our south side vantage point toward downtown Richmond. These are some of the storm clouds now up over Caroline and Spotsylvania County. We're seeing kind of the edge of those. I do think Richmond's going to see a few storms a little bit later on this evening. Temperatures really warm. It's very humid too. Upper 80s now, and our heat index is around 90-ish because humidity is up a little bit. Dew points now back up into the 60s. So that contributing to the fact that we'll probably see a little better chance of some showers developing this evening. Most of them to the north now. Again, our vantage point here, we're looking to the north, and these are some of the clouds we were just looking at in the sky cam. And they're running into western Caroline now out of Spotsylvania. They're not severe storms, but they're pretty good sized showers. Now into western King and Queen County, western Essex County. They're not really growing a lot, but there are a lot of them around. Now we go to the south. There's a bigger area of rain over southwestern Piedmont of Virginia, and this is part of the pattern that's going to prevail for us tomorrow. The question is how much of this heavy rain moves our way. We'll see bits of it tonight, but tomorrow a better chance, and that is our next big thing weather-wise, is the better rain chances for tomorrow. Now this is a model run, and remember, computer models are just a mathematical simulation of what might happen. This is upgrade. This is an updated model run. It's showing more rain this evening. But again, I'm kind of doubting we're going to see as much as what's showing here over southern Virginia. This shows a good bit of it coming in from the south. We'll see. Now tomorrow, all of a sudden, is not showing as much rain. Previous model run, it was showing tons of rain. So again, take it with a grain of salt. It is showing some rain tomorrow morning into the afternoon with a cold front just kind of hovering just south of the area. But I think we'll have a pretty good bet for more than what this is showing into the afternoon, evening hours. And then Saturday now is showing rain, whereas before it wasn't showing much at all. I do think drier conditions will try to come in from high pressure to the north, so I've actually cut our precip chances a bit for Saturday. Now tonight around 70 for your low. Tomorrow hour by hour, early hour 71 degrees, noon hour 77, and then we kind of get stuck in the upper 70s 80% rain chance toward afternoon and early evening. I have a low chance of rain Saturday, but if the model tries to continue to bring more rain in from the south, we may have to boost that. It does look like Sunday a better chance of more rain too and thunderstorms. Over the next several days, next 5 to 6 days, we could be looking at 3 inches or more of rainfall grand total. So a lot of precipitation building in the next week or so. Back to you, Carla and Kurt.
All right, thanks so much, Jim. Still ahead at 5, 75 years after D-Day. The memories are still fresh in the minds of the survivors. Coming up, what a 94-year-old Virginia survivor is saying about that fateful day.
But first, a shoulder, or better yet, a fur coat to cry on. A man's best friend is helping our neighbors in Virginia Beach heal. For those closest to the tragedy in Virginia Beach, talking about it can be especially hard, and that's why one group is providing some floppy-eared listeners who are ready to lend a helping paw. Dozens of therapy dogs have been working around the clock at the memorial outside the Virginia Beach Municipal Center. They're trained for difficult times like these. The Red Cross actually requested their help the night of the shooting. Handler Jackie Carrington says there's one interaction she'll never forget with a woman who was inside Building 2 at the time of the shooting.
She went into very detailed information about watching 4 of her associates get killed right in front of her. And I told her, I said, we have a chaplains over here. She said, no, I want to talk to the dog. It was very emotional. It was very hard on me to listen to her. And after she was done, she said, thank you, I feel better. I lost it.
Those dogs will be on hand to help for the next 2 to 3 months.
Unfortunately, we are losing more and more of the great men who survived D-Day. Thankfully, we still have a few of them right here in Virginia. Julius Schulers of Norfolk was just 19 years old when he stormed the beaches of Normandy. Most of the memories he keeps tucked away in binders, photo after photo capturing his days in the 7th Beach Battalion. Mr. Schulers worked in the transportation department in Normandy, wading through shallow waters, finding places for boats to land safely. He remembers the loss of life that has shaped many of our freedoms today.
It was a horrible sight. I was scared, sure. If you weren't scared, you're crazy. I ended on the beach, there were young men laying on the beach, and they were crying, Mama, Mama, help me. I can't forget that. It will not get out of my mind. If you've seen the picture Private Ryan, it was worse than that.
Well, today he is a happy 94-year-old, a grandfather of 5 and great-grandfather of 12. He loves cowboy movies and the Redskins. He misses his wife, Ruby, who he met in Norfolk before the war. They were married for 66 years.
Amazing. We're moments away from the news at 5:30.
Diane Walker is standing by with a preview. Diane?
Hey guys, the ACLU filed suit against the owners of a Chesterfield apartment complex. The suit alleges that Sterling Glenn is trying to keep minorities out. Coming up, why the owners say the ACLU has it all wrong. And we will continue our coverage of the 75th anniversary of D-Day. Coming up, we will head back to Bedford and meet a Jewish man who had a very special reason to say thanks. Those stories and more when you join us for the news at 5:30.